ladies.
Well done,
Congrats,
Kay.
guys. Thanks.
That's it. That's right. What do you reckon? Do you want to do that again, or
Just make
I'd
a bit of
be keen for that again.
Take a seat, Joseph.
Hold on.
Stand or sit? Do you think it's easy to sit?
Then we get the Burger King logo in, because you boys know it's important, and ladies. All right, just from a promoter's point of view, that was a performance we were 100% looking for. That was, in my opinion, a total destruction. 3 rounds. Before this fight, there was a lot of people saying we were doing the wrong thing. There was British pundits saying, isn't it fantastic to see Joseph Parker take on a 6.5 or 6'7.5" guy who's Russian granite. He hasn't lost in 6 years, 40 fights, 38 wins, and Joseph Parker went out and completely destroyed him. From my point of view as a promoter, that's given us the impetus to go forward and secure the world title fight as soon as we possibly can. And on that performance, I've got to say Joseph Parker is going to be one dangerous bastard going forward. Unbelievable result.
Which title is that? Which bout?
Well, that's a really good question. We're going to be in discussion with a number of different promoters around the world. Obviously, it's been fairly well documented. I've spoken to Bob Aram. I'll be speaking to Bern Bonk going forward, who's Klitschko's manager, and also keeping dialogue up with Eddie Hearn. There's a lot to discuss over the next sort of few days, and we'll just see how we go. The situation's fluid, to say the least, but what I'd like to do now is concentrate on just what a stunning result. Firstly, Joseph managed to achieve in the ring, and obviously the coaching from Kevin Barry. It's probably our best performance in a long time. Kevin, I'll leave you to comment on that.
I think it was Joseph's best performance for over a year, and you've all heard me say I haven't been that happy with the last 3 performances, including the Takum fight, and we had probably our biggest challenge today, and Joe had a lot to do. We had a great training camp, and what he did tonight, you could tell the spark was back. He actually had some purpose to his punches. He was out there to hurt the guy, having him down first round, second round, knock him out in the third. Very good performance, and one I'm very excited about. And I think that firmly puts us back on track and puts Joseph in a very good mental state moving forward to these bigger fights.
Kevin, what did you make of the punch that finished the fight?
Which one? Because I think he was finished when he knocked him out and down in the first round. For me, that was the end of the fight. And it was just a matter of time after that. I said to Joe after the first round, this guy will keep trying. You have to keep beating him down. But I felt comfortable after that first knockdown that the fight was ours, and it was only a matter of time until Joe. We know Joe's a great finisher. When he hurts you, he's going to get you out of there. And he got him out there in the third round.
I mean, it looked like a convenient out, but he was complaining of being hit while he had a knee on the ground.
Yeah, I know, but let's remember that was the 3rd time he'd been down.
Soviet, the rule is a 10 count, guys knocked out, fights Joseph Parker as we move on.
Joe, can we get your reaction to that?
Yeah, like I said, when we first talked, when I first got back, I felt great. Felt like there was a spark that I got back. I didn't feel this sharp in the last, like you said, 3 or 4 performances, but I feel like the training that we've done, we got the right balance. We sparred a lot of rounds, and with the sparring, Kevin was teaching me how to do things with tall opponents, and I felt like in the beginning of the sparring camp, I was getting hit a few times, and I was still learning my craft. At the end, we looked like everything was flowing nicely, and I felt like tonight I was starting to get my groove on, and then I just got him with a nice shot. So
the head movement was noticeable in this fight. How happy were you with the head movement?
The head movements is one of those things you've got to keep working on, and I felt like I moved my head a lot tonight, but there's still a lot of improvement. There's still a lot of movement to come, really.
When you take him in the first round, he smiled at you.
That's a sign of hurt. When you smile, you're trying to pretend that you're not really hurt, but really you're stunned.
So you knew you had him almost straight off?
Well, as soon as I knocked him down, I knew that I had him. Just looked over to Kev, and Kev was saying, relax, take your time, don't rush into it. One of those times, if you rush into it, you get caught. So trying to relax and just pick my shots, and I was hoping to catch him with a really nice one.
How much confidence does this result and performance give you, Joe?
Gives me a lot of confidence. My confidence started in training camp when I sparred those big guys and was able to have good movement and able to release the combos that we're practicing in the gym. And
Joseph is a mandatory that will come out November 9. It's been well documented, of course, that they're chasing hard for Klitschko. So for what happened from here is we're going to fight either November 26 or maybe December. You know, we got one more fight to finish the year, and I'd like to think it's going to be for the world title one way or another. And you know, Joseph put in a stunning performance today, as he has for the last 3.5 years, along with Coach Kevin Barry. You know, we've got him to a point where he's number one in the WBO, he's number one in the IBF, one of them is mandatory, the other one's about to be stripped of their title. So it's fair to say we couldn't be in a stronger position, and going forward we'll sit down as a team and make a decision as to which way we go. I think it'd be pretty fantastic if we could bring a heavyweight title here to New Zealand, but at the end of the day, we'll just see what opportunities arise from tonight's victory, because a lot of the discussions with Eddie Hearn in particular sort of slowed down while I guess Eddie was waiting to see what happened tonight. I'll be fascinated to see if Eddie Hearn is as interested to have Joseph Parker get in the ring right now with Anthony Joshua. My gut feel is he probably won't be.
Do you want to ring Eddie now? Can you got his number?
I have got his number.
Let's go, Eddie.
We'll talk to Eddie at a later date. Actually, to be fair, Eddie did send an email or an email earlier on and says, mate, good luck, hope it goes well tonight. So, you know, he's obviously in Joseph's corner. He wants to see. It's good for heavyweight boxing that Joseph Parker comes through like he did tonight. All of a sudden, you've got a hot new heavyweight on the block who's been 3.5 years in the making, and today was his coming out party to me, along with, you know, his had very hard fight against Carlos Takam only 2 fights ago. So I can't be, you know, David Higgins and myself couldn't be proud of the job that both Joe and Kev are doing. You know, we're doing our stuff outside the ring, they're doing their stuff inside the ring, and, you know, very soon we'd like to think we're going to have a brand new heavyweight champion of the world emanating out of New Zealand.
Yeah, I think over the next couple of weeks we're going to have a lot of talk about what's coming up. But I think, like, all you guys have seen a lot of boxing now. We've had a lot of fights over the last 3.5 years. You've watched the development. You've watched Joe on performances that aren't good. You know it was a good performance tonight. That's what we should be focusing on. That should be the story. That Joseph Parker looked bloody great tonight. That he moved his head better than any other fight in his 21 professional fight career. That he was able to get to the body on a big guy. That he was able to knock a guy down 3 times in 3 different rounds, a guy who'd only lost 2 fights in 15 years.
And they'd only been knocked down once in the 11th round from Kubrat Pulev, who's currently the IBF number 2. You know, let's not underestimate just what an amazing performance there was. This guy wasn't 38, this guy wasn't 42, he's 34 years of age, right in his prime. So we couldn't be happier.
And you saw the shape he turned up in.
He was in great shape.
what they said.
You know, he came here he came here 2 weeks early. You know, they were serious. We saw him here 3 months ago when we did that press tour, and he looked like he was carrying a few pounds. And I said to Joe, look, he doesn't really even look like he's interested. When we saw him when we got here, he was in shape. They came to win. They were prepared for the fight. They weren't prepared for the firepower of Joseph Parker, though.
Kevin, were you surprised with the speed and power and the display of that?
No,
as well
because
as
I see it all the time.
yeah,
That-
you're not playing.
I was happy, not surprised. I was happy that everyone else got to see it.
Is that his best performance as a professional, Kevin?
Look, I think it's definitely up there. If you factor in all the little pieces of skill work that he did tonight, the hand movement, the head movement, the stepping around, turning the bigger guy, being able to close the distance. These are all things that we work on day after day after day that people don't get to see. But this all comes in improving the skill level of a young prospect. And now I think we've got not just a young prospect, but we've got a guy that can win us the heavyweight championship of the world.
Joe, you think their performance prepares you for a world title shot now?
You know, I'm happy with the performance, and I'm happy that I got to fight a big guy, and of course it's going to prepare me well for the world title. We're just going to sit down now as a team, celebrate, and discuss what's there to come in the future.
Joe, just a word on your brother John. What did you make of his fight?
I was excited to see him fight and jump back in the ring. Still got a lot of work to do, but it's great that he got the victory.
Joe, do you have a preference of say, fighting a world title fight here or in London?
Oh, like Dean said before, would love to bring it to New Zealand, give back to all supporters, people who have been there from day one. But it's all about just sitting down and seeing what opportunities arise.
Cool, thanks guys.
Thank you. Well done. Sure.
Anything else? I hate you to say with your works and not your information. Too much.
Great.